What's up, everybody? E3 is upon us. I'm here. I'm Brian Altano. I'm with Jose Otero. Nintendo announced some big stuff today. They are not having a traditional press conference, just like last year. What the hell does that mean for us?
Okay, so I guess that, first of all, that doesn't mean, well, to be honest, this is just like last year. This is almost a retake of last year. I call this take two on the idea of E3, we're presenting a video presentation, but this time we're being very careful, not calling it a Nintendo Direct, not announcing it through a super dry press release. This was a fun video made by Mega64. Props to those guys, by the way, because they knocked it out of the park. Reggie Fils-Aimé is easily, like, how has no one landed on that yet? How? But on top of that, I don't think it means sort of doom and gloom. I mean, I am slightly disappointed because Nintendo, as one of the originators and sort of big names in video games, has had an E3 presence that has been on the stage, and they've had wonderful accomplishments in the time that they did that.
Right.
And now they're steering away from that in sort of favor of the way they control their messaging. And I don't think it means the end, because there'll still be great announcements, there'll still be surprises, and there'll still be games that we didn't see coming. Also part of this, so just to put this in full context, there's a video presentation called the Nintendo Digital Experience, something along those lines.
Yep.
There is a Smash Brothers Invitational Tournament happening at the Nokia Theater. They're inviting 16 fighters from around the globe to come in to play Smash Brothers, basically on some sort of a global stage, if you look at it that way.
Yep.
They're doing another partnership with Best Buy so people can play Smash Brothers at a store. By the way, there better be armed guards present. And then,
are you trying to steal it?
Someone's gonna.
I'll steal it.
And then lastly, Nintendo's Treehouse, their localization guys like Corey, who have been on Up at Noon, and other folks.
Yep.
They'll be sort of live streaming presentations throughout the days of E3. Every hour they're gonna live stream.
So we're getting all the traditional madness of E3. Like, we're getting new playable demos, we're getting new game announcements, obviously, right? They said they've got a bunch of new secrets that they're working on. The only thing we're not really getting is that very traditional, old school, big crowd reaction, big live event type of format, which Microsoft is going to do, Sony's going to do. Presumably, I doubt they're going to change things. Last year at the Sony conference and the Microsoft conference, we had these sort of like big live professional wrestling moments where they would announce something, there's a huge crowd reaction, and that's sort of been part of the whole fanfare for years, but Nintendo this year and last year are moving away from that.
Yeah.
So I like that they're doing that. I like that they're playing with new formats, but some would say that what they did last year didn't exactly work incredibly in their favor, right?
Last year they had technical problems. The stream didn't work for the first 10 or 15 minutes, so people were really frustrated. I think they really underestimated, too, that Nintendo Directs are sort of special in their own goofy way, but to show up at E3 with just that wasn't necessarily the best plan for them. And especially when you look in light of what Sony and what Microsoft were doing at the time. Now, granted, we don't want to focus on 3 different platforms and this whole war that people like to play up and perceive, but we do want to talk about the fact that Nintendo is still going to have announcements and surprise games that they will reveal this way.
Right.
And it's almost like they're betting on sort of digital, social, like, wins and reaches right through that, because everyone's going to be tweeting about it, everyone's going to be talking about it, regardless of if they do it at E3 or they do it via video.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite E3s a few years ago, Microsoft said these are our new Xbox games, and you can download them on the
I remember that,
Xbox store right now.
Early years at 360.
Right, and I kind of like that, especially because none of us have played the new Smash Brothers yet. We've just been reading about it every single day for what feels like years. Yeah. And now suddenly we're going to be able to play it because we work at IGN, but average, regular, normal people, not crazy people like us, will get to walk into a store and try it out for the first time and tweet pictures and talk about it and stuff like that. So,
and for the first time, they're acknowledging a very significant fan base, right? I mean, we're talking about a Smash Brothers community, which, don't get me wrong, it's divided by Melee and Brawl presently, right?
Yep.
The folks who won't go near Brawl because it wasn't what they wanted and who cling closely to Melee instead, and some folks have adopted Brawl instead. But the fact that they're kind of acknowledging this community, throwing together this presentation, I can't wait to find out who the 16 fighters are. I'm hoping folks like Mango will be there, folks like Hugs86 will be there, folks like
Brian Altano, one of the top Smash Brothers players in the universe.
I'm just hoping, easily. And even guys like Producto, who are like great commentators in that space, who know how to contextualize and make Smash battle feel relevant for someone who maybe isn't following Smash as closely as that community tends to follow it. I hope they're considering those guys, because that community is there and they exist and they deserve the spotlight. I feel.
Yeah,
They've
I
been
mean those
standing
are
there
all
long enough.
Those are all great people for me to beat the crap out of in the new Smash Brothers games.
So that's not happening, but we'll see.
So we won't have a ton of the fanfare. There won't be those Twilight Princess moments where you see Link hold up the sword and there's a huge crowd reaction. But the end result is new game announcements, new games that we're all going to end up playing either way. So maybe the format doesn't matter as much, right?
For a long time I kept saying that E3 showmanship, I still firmly believe E3 showmanship matters. But right now, regardless of the format, everything is on what is this video and what are you announcing. And right now, that is what people are going to be talking about. When E3 happens on June 9th and this presentation happens, that's all people care about. And if Nintendo's aware of that, that ultimately is what's going to decide if this worked out or not.
You heard that. E3, June 9th, Smash Brothers, you're going to get to play it. We're going to get to play it. I'm going to get to beat all those guys Jose just named. For all things Nintendo, E3, and Smash Brothers in general, keep it locked right here to IGN.